Hey folks, today is Friday, June 21st, 2024. As usual, my name is Jake Baldino, back at the office again, here to talk about all the gaming news that has been going on this week. There's a lot to jump into, but before that, I linked in the description down below some videos I made about some of the games I got to play early, from like Summer Game Fest and stuff. So I got to play like a half hour of Stalker 2, a bunch of Phantom Blade Zero, even Star Wars Outlaws. So I figured I'd mention it at the top if you were interested. Those videos will be linked in the description down below. But enough of that, it's been a pretty busy week, like I said, so let's just jump into the news. The first thing you may have missed, thanks to all the Elden Ring and other thing chaos, but it's actually some Cyberpunk leaks. Yes, some leaks came out, some images showcasing a seemingly canceled moon-focused DLC. There are some screens floating around out there. We're going to show some of them, but I don't want to get this video like taken down with copyright and stuff, so we'll link the sources in the description down below. But essentially, some screens showed kind of prototype Dogtown and like, you know, Phantom Liberty stuff, but then also ideas for a moon DLC, including a map and some weird prototype images. Now, this is significant because the moon is an established thing in Cyberpunk lore. It was settled, it like colonized, it has like mining corporations. I believe it has like 2 cities. So chances are if you've played the game, you've heard it mentioned. So this was going to be possibly a significant thing, but it's not. it's not, unfortunately, because we know that with Phantom Liberty, that was their final big expansion, and CD Projekt Red, the developers, have come out and said, hey, dude, we're done with Cyberpunk. We're moving on to Cyberpunk 2 and The Witcher 4 and whatever else. So this was something, this is like a case of what if. I think maybe this was an early prototype when maybe things were going better for Cyberpunk, you know? Of course, it had a really rough launch, so they had to really double back and put their resources on fixing the damn game. So I guess they had more DLC plans at one point. Either way, I'm glad we still got one really good one. But yeah, if you want to check this out, it's interesting. Linked below. Now, I should really probably talk about this like right up at the front. Happy Elden Ring Day, my people. Shadow of the Erdtree DLC is out as of now. We put out a video for it. It is great. I didn't do the before you buy on it. I can't do every single before you buy anymore. Like a year or so ago, I started delegating to Eric behind the scenes and Falcon. I just can't take on every game like I used to. It's just not enough hours in the day, but they did a great job and the game seems really fantastic and people are loving it. So we'll link the before you buy in the description down below. But along with that, Miyazaki, head of From Software, you know, big brainchild of all the Dark Souls and Soulsborne games, has been doing a lot of interviews, almost more than usual, for this cycle. And last week we talked about him, like, you know, talking about, yeah, it'd be great if we could do more Bloodborne. But one interesting quote that popped up this week I think is pretty cool is the pursuit of the perfect RPG and that they ain't stopping. When talking about building RPGs and what's next and stuff, his simple quote, I'm just going to read it and I'm going to link it in the description down below, from PC Gamer. Miyazaki says, "I'm still in the process of making my ideal fantasy RPG. While Elden Ring is not quite it, it's pretty close. It's getting close." So you could read that as a bunch of things. How many more games does he have in him? Is this Elden Ring 2 that is going to perfect upon that stuff? Is it something else? We don't know. I think his perfect RPG is just going to be filled with poison swamps. I don't care if that joke is ran into the ground. Souls fans, I still think it's funny. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. So we'll see where things go after Erdtree. Although, I mean, it's pretty safe to assume that Erdtree is definitely going to be a success. But speaking of success, Nintendo had a Nintendo Direct and they showed up. For some people, like the console stuff, it's like, finally, we've had PlayStation, we've had Xbox. What has Nintendo been cooking up? Because last year it was such a big year for them. Well, they still got some stuff. I'll link the full direct in the description down below because there's not time to talk about everything, but some of the big highlights are Mario and Luigi Brothership coming in November, a fun co-op adventure that just looks really in line with those previous games, but really brought up to a new level. Dragonquest 3 is getting an HD 2D remake, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. This is coming this year, and I'm gonna play the hell out of this. They also announced that we're getting HD 2D remakes of Dragon Quest 1 and 2, kind of completing that Erdrick saga, and that's pretty sweet. Along with that, it's about time we see something from Donkey Kong, although it's another old game being brought up again, but it's Donkey Kong Country Returns being re-released for Nintendo Switch in January. But in terms of big surprises, it was a new Zelda game, Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. This continues the Link to the Past remake style. Absolutely gorgeous, you know, a little more cutesy, cartoony look, but you're not playing as Link. You're playing as Zelda, which, like, on the one hand, you might think, like, okay, what is this going to play, like the Princess Peach game? Is it just going to be simple magic stuff? I actually think the gameplay conceit here is really creative, with her able to essentially absorb and summon any type of object in the game. So it's going for a little bit of like Breath of the Wild creativity, but on a 2D puzzle solving plane, I think this could actually really work. But we'll know for sure. We'll judge it for ourselves when it releases September 26th.
Before we keep going, jumping over here to talk about subscription services. We're all subscribed to probably a couple of things. I know I am, but I'm really unorganized and messy, and I sometimes lose track of what I'm subscribed to, and I end up losing out on money. Sometimes it's something as small as $2 a month, and you're like, yeah, that's fine, and then you realize, like, oh man, I haven't even used this, and I've been burning $2. Thankfully, our sponsor, Rocket Money, can help out with this. Rocket Money is an all-in-one finance platform that can help you save more and spend less. No joke, I've been using Rocket Money for years now, just to keep on track of my finances. But of course, one of their biggest features involves subscriptions. So not only can Rocket Money help go in and identify and show you at a glance everything you're subscribed to, but they can also cancel them for you. With the push of like a button, you can cancel stuff without having to talk to anyone on the phone. And that, to me, is so valuable. But Rocket Money has a bunch of other features, like you can monitor your credit. There's also some good budgeting tools that allow you to create a custom budget, set limits, and then even have notifications set so that you never spend over your limits. With all this, Rocket Money just helps you fine-tune your financial life. It keeps you honest, keeps you on track of things. I have it on my phone. I'm always checking it. Believe it or not, Rocket Money has helped save its customers up to $740 when they use all the features, with over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. So to save more and spend less, join the over 5 million members using Rocket Money today. All you gotta do is go to rocketmoney.com/gameranx or click the link in the description down below to get started for free. Then when you're there, you can unlock even more features with premium. So once again, that's rocketmoney.com/gameranx, and big thanks to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video.
But last but certainly not least, a new look at Metroid Prime 4, now titled Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. And it is very much Metroid Prime, like exploring these moody, atmospheric environments, shooting Samus flipping out of her ship. The music plays. It sounds more incredible now. Like when that hit, it's like, right? You're scanning stuff, you're doing Samus stuff, and then the bad guy is revealed at the end. He shows his face. It's the guy or person from Metroid Prime Hunters, and they were kind of teased as like the baddie thing at the end of Metroid Prime 3, if I remember correctly. So we know that something is now finally really cooking with this game, and it got a release window of 2025. So we'll see where that goes. I'm looking forward to that. I just replayed Metroid Prime. It's great, so more of the same is okay with me, dude. Now this next one, shout out to a lot of you for tagging me in this on social media. I appreciate it. So Forza has announced the Universal Icons car pack for Forza Horizon 5. Normally this stuff isn't too interesting, but it's movie cars, and it's sick. You got Kit from Knight Rider, which is starting to become really old, and I think people are starting to forget what that even is. The OG Jeep Wrangler from Jurassic Park in all of its beauty. As a Jeep fan, I dig this, but as the internet's #1 DeLorean fan, we got the DeLorean time machines in the game, the ones from Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3, and they look legit. I've said it on my channel, I don't know if I've ever said it here, but I actually like the way the car looks more without the time machine stuff, and that DeLorean already exists in the game. But if you want some Back to the Future business on it, now you got it. Oh, and it's some interesting news that crossed my desk or my screen or whatever. Bluepoint is still around. Remember them? I feel like we were so hyped about what they were working on, and then they kind of went silent for a long time, and that's really been it. Well, now we have a little bit of an update. The studio head did make a statement on social media saying nothing has changed since our statement that we are working on an original title. Everything takes time, and that we are committed to sharpening our skills. People are interested in this because Bluepoint, of course, is famous for the Demon's Souls remake for the early PS5 launch, as well as stuff like the Shadow of Colossus remake. They've been doing a lot. So with them making an original game, of course, they were acquired by PlayStation in 2021. That's when people have really been looking to see what they got going on. So we still don't know, but at least thankfully, in the sea of like layoffs and bad news, we know that a studio is out there still working on a game. Next up, some things I wanted to link in the description down below, some games and stuff. I didn't get to mention this last week, but Bodycam is now out in early access. This is one of it might be kind of a trend, the kind of realistic body cam footage style game. This looks incredibly realistic as a first-person shooter. Will it hold up over time? Is the game genuinely any good? I'm not sure yet. The jury's still out, and it is in early access, but I wanted to throw that your way in case you you were interested. Also, if you're looking for something more narrative driven, a little spooky, a little moody, you like a good story, Still Wakes the Deep is dropping this week, and it's been reviewing very well, so I'm going to try and make some time for that at some point. But also, don't miss, oh, it is so beautiful, some new gameplay for Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. I barely know anything about Warhammer, but Space Marines are cool, and this game looks awesome. I love the original, and man, this looks like it's really shaping up to be something cool. Essentially, my type of thing. If any of you guys can help tell me where to start with Warhammer stuff, please, I'm all ears. Let me know. Just don't scare me, all right? Like, take it easy on me. Oh, but last and certainly not least, an update, a movie update, a video game movie update. We always end the show with those, and the newest is that Uncharted 2 is moving forward. Variety reports that the second Uncharted movie is officially in the works, and Tom Holland is locked in again to play Nathan Drake. Presumably, probably Mark Wahlberg as well as Sully. I can't not laugh out loud saying that, but yeah. The last 10 minutes of Uncharted were kind of good. It kind of felt a little bit like Uncharted, so maybe if they just keep that energy, I don't know. That movie was kind of weird. Not the worst, but I'm really picky with this stuff. However, the world wasn't, because the original was a massive success, so it makes sense that there's a sequel. Hopefully now they really nail the feel better. But who knows? That's wishful thinking. It all feels like a losing battle anyway. But Uncharted will still be awesome, regardless of some weird movies. But that's it with the news this week. I gotta get back to work, so I want to know what you guys are thinking about everything. Are you playing Elden Ring? Are you playing Erdtree? What are you playing? Let us know in the pinned comment. We always put there, so you can reply in the thread what you're playing. It helps for our research. But again, let me know if you're playing Erdtree. Let me know what you think about the Cyberpunk Moon DLC, what that really truly could have been, what Bluepoint is working on, your favorite pick from the Nintendo Direct. Let's talk about any of the gaming news that happened this week. Down in those comments. We'll be down there as much as possible, but of course, you know the drill. If you want to yell at me directly, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Just look up my name, Jake Baldino. But thank you guys for being here. Clicking the like button helps us. We're here every week to get you caught up on the news. I've never missed, so thank you. But that's it. All I ask now is have a great weekend. Be safe. Pizza's on me.